whatever you have been, it feels like some people refuse to let go the things that you let go a long time ago. So let's say you're a DJ, you have your DJ career, etc., etc. Another point, you say to yourself, yo, listen, I'm 40, I love DJing, etc., but the market doesn't work for me anymore. Whatever, and I'm not making enough money from my production so that I don't need to DJ that much anymore. And whatever you do, let's say you do something else, you find another thing on the internet, maybe NFTs, whatever, and all of a sudden you make way more money than in the best moments of your DJing
career. Yeah.
Imagine you make 5K a week from working from home, and now you can travel, you can do this, you can do that, and you're fine. You can pay like all your rent in 2 months, and then etc., etc. But you're still gonna have the people that used to work with you, because probably they're trying to make money off of you. They will continue religiously telling you, yeah, we have to do a tour again. And it feels like people don't want to let you become your next, the next phase of your life. And it's so interesting how, so I was having a conversation with Dumoulin on the phone, and his wife made him realize that my song Something Going On is viral on TikTok. So I tell him, yeah, there's 40,000 videos on TikTok. It's really a viral song, and it's just playing like crazy, and it's generating a lot of money, etc., etc. And of course he was like, bro, we have to do a tour. Listen, people have to see. I'm tired of people saying that you fell off. I was like, it's like, bro, it's like, what you mean? Nah, listen, I know what your position, but we should go. And I was like, bro, if I calculate the money I make around 400 a day. There's no, like, unless you pay me 10K to go perform somewhere, it's not that I'm not interested. It's just, it's not worth it in my configuration today. I've been freeing my mind from some things like touring, so I can do something else, not so I can just stay there at home. No, it's because I want to do new things. And after that, I had a conversation with the guys that I recorded an album, and it was already a nightmare back then, because you have the non-serious ones, the delusional ones, and all those people all around at 50 years old and tell me, yeah, we have to all do an album together. And I'm not against it, but I can see the configuration being exactly the same as 25 years ago, 27 years ago. And I feel like telling people, guys, like, it's not that I'm not interested in doing it. It's just that I don't need to be there in the conversations with you as you are figuring it out. Just tell me where I have to put my vocals and do whatever. Because my business is streamlined. I know how to do tracks I can talk to somebody at 5 p.m. Make him listen to a track at 5:30 and say, yo, let's do a track. And I can be recording at 8 p.m. and they are recording at 8 p.m. on their side, and I'm mixing at 9, and the song is ready to release in 2 weeks or in 1 week, depending on how long I need for it to arrive in the Spotify and the platforms. And then you have people, you clearly see that they still are in the old business, and they are trying to take you back. And I mean, it's kind of frustrating.
It is kind of. I think it's hella frustrating, and it tells us how important it is to make space for our mental peace. Otherwise, I think this could be something that that could um, damage you deeply as a person, because there's so much pressure that people try to inflict on you, impose on you at this point. And it's like, do this or you not have this enough or this, do that. This is not enough. This is not enough. It's never enough. You got all the prizes, you got all the awards, you got all this college, you got everything. You're the number one. Yes, you've been the first. That not enough. Like you this, you that, you do this, you do that. Not enough. And it's like, okay, so what is enough then? Because this is the thing that, and it's not a matter of being enough. As in, once I'm done doing that, I'm done. No, it's just that as we evolve, as we grow, it is okay uh, for you to take the accolades, to take the, the rewards of someone's success or even your own. But then when things, as you just said, when things start slowing down, you gotta ask yourself real questions.
Yeah.
Is it still, well, it can always come back and it eventually will come back. It's mathematical. But for that time being,
what can you do? You know, something that I love about the way I built my career is that from the very, very, very beginning, I changed hats a lot. I've been publishing, I've been producing, I've been singing, I've been rapping, I've been executive producing from on my label, on other people's labels. I've been on the I had the YouTube channel. I had like a lot of different things that I was doing, and from a long time ago, I could realize, oh look, I'm making more money from copyright than I'm making money from publishing rights. Oh, look, it's been 2-3 years now. I'm making more money from publishing than copyright. Oh, interesting. I make more money from iTunes than sales. Oh, and now I make more money from streaming than iTunes, etc., etc. It's something that I've been living for so long that I'm used to just changing my whole business around and just accompanying the variations of the whole business, and sometimes being in front, because instead of saying to myself, hey, it's working, I have nothing to do, I was always, okay, this is working, what can I do as it's working, and what can I try? And so, for example, if I look at my music business, we'll see at the end of the year how much I made from the music and how much I made from NFTs. But I think this year I made probably the same amount of money from NFTs than from music. And I've been generating royalties from NFTs, not the same as music, but not the same as music, of course. But I've been generating on a daily from music around, I don't know, 300 euros daily. And if from NFTs in just 6 months, I'm already at 10, 15. I'm like, yo. So in my head, I'm going to be like, this is where I have to go. This is the direction that I want to go. Where a lot of people, they're still going to be like, oh, my the fame.
I think it complements, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be limited to do one thing. And it's not advised anyway, especially in today's world. Back then, maybe, but like nowadays, bro, if you're not multitasking, you don't have. Not by multitasking, I'm not saying getting all the way, above your capacities. But it's like really try to dive into different aspects of your skill sets and try to explore.
And it's in that vein. It's interesting because, you of course you're familiar with the Breakfast Club. From a DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God, and Angela Yee. And Angela Yee just announced that she's leaving the Breakfast Club.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. And so
it's funny because I've always felt like she was very salty with Charlemagne.
Since that incident. But I mean, she's. I think he did an interview with somebody that insulted her with a rapper, and who pretended that she was trying to be with him, and and yeah, he pretended that, and yeah, she was pissed about it, and then he did an interview, a Gucci man. He did an interview with the guy, and she was like, "Yo, you're not a team player or whatever," and she's been less and less in the show, you know,
It's true.
and she just announced that she's having her own show now. She's not leaving the iHeart.
Fishing.
She's just having her own show. She's gonna have her own show on the weekend, and she's not gonna do the Breakfast Club anymore. And everybody's going crazy on it, like the people who are her fans are saying, "Yeah, finally, get your thing," and the people who were like, "Oh, finally, she's leaving," whatever. And me, I'm like, guys, it is normal to evolve. Like, all of them are super famous now, and all of them have their careers. Charlemagne has his podcast with Andrew Schultz. He has his own show on Comedy Central. Envy has his car show and his podcast with his wife. And Angela also has her podcast Lip Service. So in a moment, it's normal to evolve.
Are these podcasts? That's the question. Are they really that good? Because it looks for me, it's,
I only know.
And I mean, I guess.
I only know the one from Charlemagne, because I know the Brilliant Idiots. This is very successful. He also has his own podcast network, Black Effect, and he has his own show. This guy is very successful. Envy, I don't really know his business. I know that his car business is successful. I don't know about his podcast. And Angela's podcast Lip Service, I don't know. I don't listen to it, so I cannot say if it's good, if it's working. I don't know if it's. But she just talked to her boss and she said, "Hey, listen, I'm ready to have my own show." And yeah, they said, "Oh, listen, we can invest in your own show. It's podcast. Let you know, podcast is the new thing right now. So, hey, you wanna, as long as you are making us money and we can sell advertising on a new show, we're good with that. We'll give you X amount per year. All good." So yeah, it's this thing where you kind of it comes to the same thing to me. Like, can you let people move on? And it's not necessarily a beef or something wrong between people. It's just, sometimes you just ready to do your next thing, and people can get misaligned.
Or better yet, they could just be over. This
sometimes.
It's like, you did just, you outgrew the situation you're in. It's like, when you think about it, it's like, the point of the DJing was a very good point, because we spoke about it in several shows before. But it's really all about, like, man, like, it's okay, it's okay, it's all good.
It's okay to move on.
It's okay.
Listen, I told somebody the other day, if I never do another show, I'm never get booked again, ever. I'm fine. I did the whole world. Like, my dreams have been fulfilled 1,000,000 times. As long as me not performing is not hurting my finances.
And the way you've been moving and shaking things is built in such a way that is going to afford you that luxury of just not being a victim of anything, because you're
that's also the difference.
Focus on the core essence of your skill, which is making music at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Performance being a consequence of your skill. So, it's like, DJing is cool, man. It's consequential to what I'm doing in the studio. So let me just focus on that. And it helps, but if people, and as a very good friend was telling me, said, it's a regime change. There's a massive regime change. It's very political. If you look at it from a political standpoint, it's a regime change. There's a new government in place. There's a new president. There's a new set of people in place.
Yeah.
And they're cutting some of us out of that conversation. They're keeping some of us in, but some of us, they're keeping us out. And we just have to be patient and keep working and do what we do, because the regime will change. And when it changes, we gotta be ready.
You go at the opposition. or you do
And I
something
love
else.
this analogy, man, and I love this
Yeah.
analogy that he had because it changed completely my perspective of the whole business. Like
Mm.
some of the conversation we had, because he
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
projected it in a political standpoint. I was like,
Mm.
oh,
Yeah.
because again, as artists, we look at it from a, I mean, you and I have had a conversation. We can look at things from a business point of view, but we are still artists at the core,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So certain things we still perceive them, even though it's business, but now business and politics can be the same, but it's also very
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
So the change of regime concept was very interesting. And I said,
I'm
this
I'm
is so
lucky
cool.
that I'm lucky that I think of my business sense have just been developing so much because
Yeah,
my
yeah,
artistical sense was just super developed already. So I just developed my business sense and political sense, uh, and I can really see those things from those point of view. For a long time, I could just see all these things. I see all the little changes, and I don't take them emotionally. I just take them. I just calculate. So some people are just good strategies calculators, and some others they're just gonna be like, "Why is it happening to me?" And me, I'm like, I know exactly why things are happening. I just try to navigate.